Hey guys, this is Spartacus here and welcome back to another video. This is actually most likely going to be the last Call of Duty video I'm going to be making in the year 2021 because on Friday I'm going to have my podcast episode be uploaded to the channel, and for those of you who have not listened to my podcast just quite yet, I highly recommend you do so. It is called The Landing and I do have episodes releasing every single Friday, and each episode is actually going to be split into two parts just because my internet can't really handle uploading an hour-long video. It takes like 25 hours to do so, and that's something that I don't really like whatsoever. And so with that being said, make sure you guys go ahead and check out my podcast when you get the chance. But for today's video, we are going to be talking about Sledgehammer Games and if Vanguard is going to be their last Call of Duty game. As of right now, I haven't seen any articles regarding whether or not this is going to be Sledgehammer Games' last Call of Duty game, but I have seen a little bit of discussion within the Call of Duty community, and some people do believe that Sledgehammer Games' last Call of Duty game is going to be Vanguard. And I'm just going to tell you guys right now, I really don't think this is going to be their last game. There is a good chance it might be, and we'll discuss why this could be Sledgehammer Games' last Call of Duty game, but afterwards I'll definitely be giving out my opinion why I don't think Sledgehammer Games is going to be kicked out of the Call of Duty scene just quite yet. And for those of you who don't know, there is a 3-year developer cycle when it comes to these Call of Duty games that get released every single year. We have Treyarch, Sledgehammer Games, and Infinity Ward. They are basically the three main developers that creates the Call of Duty games. Of course, there's other smaller studios that help pitch in and work with the game as well, but those three developers are the ones who are really the main ones who create these Call of Duty games for us. And so Sledgehammer Games, of course, the games they made were Advanced Warfare, Call of Duty World War II, and of course what we see right now with Call of Duty Vanguard. And so with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into the reasons why Vanguard could be Sledgehammer Games' last Call of Duty game. And there's really only one reason, but there's a couple like other, I guess, sub reasons why this could be their last game. And the main reason is that sales are down with Vanguard. When I say sales are down, I'm comparing them to the sales of Black Ops Cold War and previous years we've seen within Call of Duty. And a matter of fact, in the United Kingdom, Vanguard sales are down 40%. That is a pretty big number right there. 40% of Vanguard's sales have been down compared to the previous year, which was Black Ops Cold War's game. And what's funny enough, here in the year 2021, the most sold Call of Duty game was Black Ops Cold War, not Vanguard, which is quite interesting considering Vanguard is the newest game added to the series. Now, there are some pretty obvious reasons why Vanguard sales are down incredibly low compared to Black Ops Cold War, and for one reason, it's a World War II era Call of Duty game. I mean, technically the game takes place like post World War II, but it's literally like the very end of World War II where Vanguard takes place, and people are just not interested in a World War II Call of Duty game. It really wasn't that long ago we already had a World War II Call of Duty game, which of course was Sledgehammer Games' last game that they made for Call of Duty. And so now that we see another game that takes place in World War II, I think it's too early to give another Call of Duty World War II era game. It just does not the right time, and it just really shows like how, I guess, lazy the developers have gotten within this development of a game. Because if you guys don't know about the whole drama that went on, technically during Black Ops Cold War's year, the year that game came out, technically Sledgehammer Games was supposed to come out with their like Vietnam game or something like that, but there was some sort of issue between them and Raven Software because they're both co-developing the game. And so Activision's like, you know what, no, you guys are stepping away from this project. Treyarch is going to step in, which is kind of why Treyarch's quality in games have gone downhill, because they had to go ahead and make that game. It's a huge mess, you guys. I don't want to get into it right now, but either way, World War II era, people are not interested in it, so that's another reason why nobody cares about Vanguard. And then of course there's also too many issues with the game. You know, there's some smart people out there who, you know, wait until after the game comes out and they kind of look at reviews to see what the game's like, whether or not they should buy it or not, or ask for it for Christmas and whatever. And a lot of people are saying that you shouldn't buy the game because there's incredibly a bunch of issues with the game that is going to make you rip your head off. Like, first of all, the atomic camo, right? The best looking camo in the game, which I guess is kind of a subjective opinion there, but it's the hardest camo nonetheless to earn in Vanguard, and you can't even earn it because there's glitches within the game and bugs that prevent you from completing certain camouflage challenges. And so there's just, and that's just like not even like most of the issues in the game. It's not so much challenges aren't tracking properly, it's the fact that the product itself is just not functioning properly whatsoever. Like, there's just, I don't even want to get into how many issues are within Vanguard. Sure, some of them have been fixed over time, but it seems like every time an update came within Vanguard that something else got broken, which is just, oh my gosh, it's just a huge headache. And I think to a lot of people who hold off on their pre-orders and they're waiting for reviews and whether or not they should buy this game, they're probably like, yeah, I'm not going to buy this game. It just seems like there's too many issues with it. It just seems like it's a huge headache to deal with a lot of the issues. And so I think a lot of people are holding off on buying the game, which is a reason why the sales are down, hence why Sledgehammer Games could be kicked out of the Call of Duty scene. But also other reasons to why this could be Sledgehammer Games' last Call of Duty game, perhaps, you know, with all those issues we've already mentioned, maybe Activision just wants to go ahead and choose a different development cycle. Maybe they want to like kind of change things up within the Call of Duty scene, and so they don't want Sledgehammer Games in, I guess, the Call of Duty scene anymore. Maybe they want to bring in another studio. That could be another reason why this could be their last game. But of course, like all the other things I said beforehand, could be the reason why they want another development studio. Who the heck knows? But yeah, those are definitely all the reasons why this could be Sledgehammer Games' last Call of Duty game. Now let's get into the reasons why Vanguard wouldn't be Sledgehammer Games' last game that they'll be making for the Call of Duty series. The first reason is that it'll be too hard for Activision to find another studio to fill in that gap within the 3-year development cycle, right? Like we've already talked about how we have Treyarch, Infinity Ward, and Sledgehammer Games. Each one like basically goes through this cycle of like who releases their next Call of Duty game next. And so I think it'll be too difficult for Activision to actually just get rid of Sledgehammer Games and have that gap filled with another studio, even though there's a lot of other small studios that do help out with the Call of Duty games. I don't know if any of them are big enough to, I guess, really create the next title, for example. And so I just can't see Activision wanting to go through the effort to find another studio. I just don't really see that happening. Also, Activision, they need annual releases for Call of Duty. Like, even though as a hardcore Call of Duty player, I really don't think they should have annual releases anymore, but Call of Duty does sell pretty well every single year, despite the fact that the sales are down 40% in the UK for Vanguard. The game still sells pretty well year after year, and so it's making Activision a shit ton of money. And so for them to get rid of Sledgehammer Games and of course like maybe have this gap where there isn't going to be a new Call of Duty game released in a certain year, then sales, or I guess income for revenue, I guess is the best term, revenue for the company is actually going to be brought down quite a bit if that actually happens in that sort of scenario. So I can't really see them getting rid of Sledgehammer Games. I really don't see it happening, just because they need annual releases every single year and they don't want to have to find another studio to replace Sledgehammer Games. And of course, another reason is Warzone. So Warzone is pretty clear and obvious that that is the biggest cash grab that Activision has right now. Warzone is what's basically reviving the Call of Duty scene, just because Battle Royale is extremely popular right now, not the annual titles you see within Call of Duty anymore. Warzone is the biggest thing within Call of Duty right now. And so the thing is, as you guys probably already are well aware, is that every year when we do get a new Call of Duty title, Warzone fits the same theme as that new title. Like when Black Ops Cold War came out, they made Verdansk back in the 80s. And then now that Vanguard comes out, we have a brand new map that takes place basically in the World War II era. So every time a new Call of Duty game comes out, they're trying to like basically take that theme and put it into Warzone, so that way players are always like, I guess, having their attention span last longer throughout every single year because of these different themes that are being thrown into Warzone from these new titles. I hope I did explain that pretty well. I mean, it's pretty obvious that Warzone is taking the theme from each new Call of Duty title that comes out every single year, and Warzone is clearly way more popular than the actual titles themselves, just because it is a free-to-play game and it is cross-play after all. And so I really am leaning towards the side that Vanguard isn't going to be Sledgehammer Games' last Call of Duty game. It's a good chance it might be. You know, back in the day, when I say back in the day, it makes me sound so old, but like, you know, previously, you know, back in during Advanced Warfare and World War II, Call of Duty World War II, you know, Sledgehammer Games had some big faces, Michael Condrey being a big face of the Sledgehammer Games, and I feel like we don't really have a face of Sledgehammer Games anymore. Obviously, there is some developers who are pretty outspoken and, you know, they try to communicate with the community when they can, but they're not as frequent as they were with like Michael Condrey when he worked for Sledgehammer Games and Glenn Schofield. And so I feel like we don't really have a face of Sledgehammer Games, and that's really a huge issue that I think we have have with the game studio right now. Obviously, there's a bunch of other issues, which I won't mention right now, but I think not having a face of Sledgehammer Games is, I think, really hurting hardcore Call of Duty fans, because we are not getting blatant communication from these head developers themselves, and I think it's a really big issue that we see right now. But yeah, I feel like I just feel like it'd be too difficult for Activision just to get rid of Sledgehammer Games. I just don't really see it happening. But what are some alternative solutions to, I guess, fix the development cycle problem we see within the Call of Duty scene right now? You know, because clearly, at least Treyarch with Black Ops Cold War and Vanguard from Sledgehammer Games, these titles could have been so much better, especially at launch. They could have been so much better, but it's, in our eyes, it just seems really lazy, some of the work they've been doing. And so some of the ways they can fix this in the future is, first of all, stop doing annual releases, but we know that's not going to happen. So what they could do instead, and I really think they could do this, and I think it could I think this could be really positive. Like, this is probably the best solution I think Activision should do, and literally they should hire me because I am bringing up this idea. They should release a new title every other year, but between the years where there isn't a new title, they give us a remastered of an older Call of Duty game. We already have one remastered Call of Duty game, and that was from COD 4, except they called it Modern Warfare Remastered. So we have one remastered Call of Duty game. Make the next one Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. We already know they have the campaign remastered, and we know for a fact the multiplayer's remastered. Just release it to us in a year where you don't release a new title, and then the next year you give us a new title. You know, every other year, new title, and then in between, give us a remastered. That is something that I want to see. And another thing that Activision could do is just add another development studio for the development cycle within the Call of Duty series. I've already mentioned 3 of them because we currently have a 3-year development cycle for Call of Duty. Add a 4th one in there. I mean, it could be Raven Software out of all teams. I mean, I feel like Raven Software would be the more logical solution since they're already, like, basically help creating Warzone right now. But they could add another development studio for the dev cycle, making it a lot easier for these other development teams to actually have an extra year to work on a new title and have it basically complete at launch, unlike what we see within Vanguard right now. And so you could even add that other development studio to the other thing I already mentioned, where you release a title every other year and in between you have a remastered. You know, I think that would be such a logical solution, and in the end it will make the consumer happy because we'll have complete Call of Duty games that are going to be fun to play. I'm assuming they're going to be fun to play, and it will give Activision a boatload more money. They'll still be able to continue sales, and matter of fact, it'll probably give them more money than what we see now. So it's the perfect solution, and I have not seen anybody recommend this solution yet, and I bring it up in so many different videos, and so I just have to bring it up again in this one. And so with that being said, that is all I have to say within this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you stuck all the way through, make sure you leave a like, and of course do not forget to subscribe to the channel for videos every single day, and also don't forget to follow me on Twitter to stay up to date with me outside of YouTube. There is a link in the description below that'll take you to my Twitter page, and I shall catch you guys later.